Hey, welcome to another virtual improv show with the LA Connection comedy teams. We are all improv. Everything we do today is completely on the spot. My name is Ken Scove. I'll be hosting the show. And the talent, it's their first show here with the LA Connection. So they're going to be in for a nice little fun ride today with their first experience doing online improv with our theater group. They know what games they're going to be in, but they do not know what suggestions I'm going to give them. That's what the improv is. I get suggestions sent in by friends and family and fans of the LA Connection. I write them all down and incorporate those suggestions into our shows. So today we've got a really fun show. We have the Bachelorette on today. We have an infomercial. We have a reality house, which is a takeoff of Big Brother. And we also can find out listen to some messages on a celebrity's answering machine. So it should be a lot of fun today. Let's introduce our cast. Lori and Francine. Liz and Bobby and Judy and George, Gary, and Andre. All right, guys, get ready because I promised you that you're going to get to hear some messages on a celebrity answering machine. So what I'm going to do is give our cast here the celebrity's machine they'll be leaving messages on, and all they have to do is just go in and out. Remember, all you do is lean forward, unmute, leave your message, and go beep at the end. And the talent today will be Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise's answering machine. Who's ever ready? Leave your message.
Tom, this is your Scientology office. Your last check for $2 million bounced. Beep.
Hey, Tom, this is the insurance agent. We cannot do this anymore. If you're going to outer space, you have to find a higher power. Beep.
Hello, Tom.
Hi there, Tom. This is Jack's upholstery business, and you still owe us for that couch that you jumped on. You owe us about $3,000. You never paid us back for that. Can you call us back? Thanks.
Hello, Tom. Tom Cruise, I know you don't know me, but I really want to tell you, I love you. I love you. Please don't call the police. Please.
Tom,
Hey,
this
Tom.
is Jocko, your shoemaker. Your new 4-inch platforms are ready. Pick them up anytime.
Tom, this is Andrea, your best friend. You owe me $100, remember? It turned out to be like a mission impossible to get it.
Unmute.
Hey, Tom, it's Brad. Hoping we can do another movie soon. See you, champ.
You wouldn't believe the things I had to do just to get your number. I mean, I hid behind a tree. I dressed as a plant. Your manager didn't even know I was a plant. I love you.
Tom, this is your pharmacist. I'm sorry, your gallon of Botox is going to be a little bit late this week. Beep.
Hi, Tom. This is Lori. I just want to confirm our appointment for me to get the Scientology backup. I kind of lost it on my computer, and I was hoping you can get back to me on that. Beep.
Hey, Tom, we wanted to talk to you about your next Mission Impossible, Escape from Scientology. Give us a call back.
All right. Well, that was great. That was Tom Cruise's answering machine, and I'm sure when he gets home, he'll be loving to hear some of those messages. You know, on television, a lot of times late night or early Saturday or Sunday morning, they have infomercials where they have a product and they try and sell it. Well, we have an infomercial here at the LA Connections virtual improv show today. And our hosts are going to be Andre and Lori, so let's bring them up. And of course, we have Liz and Francine. Now, Liz is the inventor of this item I'm going to be telling her in just a moment. And Francine has got a testimonial telling how wonderful the product has helped her life. And guys, the name of the product right now, if you want to put up Anchor and Anchor, that'd be good, or host. And Liz, go and put up that you're the inventor, and testimonial. Francine can't do that because she's on her cell phone, but we'll know that she's our testimonial lady. All right. So guys, what you're selling today is called the Cook Me. And the Cook Me makes all your meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You never have to cook again. All you have to do is put it in the Cook Me and it will cook it for you. So take it away, Lori and Andre, with the Cook Me. Andre?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and Ken, good night. You know, actually, I'm busy all the time, and I ended up always, eating unhealthy and spending a lot of money. And I can't believe, like, this product really changed my life. What do you think, Lori?
Well, I am in total agreement with you because I am just not the cooking type. Okay, so when I found out about this product that we're going to host tonight, I said I was going to be the first one to call in and order my product. I mean, I just hate cooking. I don't even like even thinking about it. Now I can go into my kitchen and I can have all my meals prepared for me.
Yeah, right, right. It's literally like a life changer. Yeah, I told you, like, I never had enough time, but I have a surprise for you. We have the inventor here,
Oh,
Dr. Liz.
Thank you so much, Andre. I would love to tell you about this invention that I have. You know, I'm a local college student and I thought that I had my cooking skills under control. I mean, I know how to do a bunch of cooking. I know how to boil water. I can make some pretty darn good ramen noodles. I can make grilled cheese with my ironing board and I can make stuff in the microwave. I thought I had it under control, but you know, when I went on Tinder and I brought these guys over to my dorm room, they were acting like they weren't impressed with my cooking skills. And I was like, whatever. So I decided to invent the Cook Me so I could get more guys to like me. You know what I'm saying? And so with this Cook Me, you can invent any kind of cooking dish you want. You want Indian, you want Mexican, you want British food, you want Colombian food, Argentinian food, any kind of food you want, it'll impress those guys any day.
wow, Liz, that is amazing. So let me ask you something. What has been the best meal that it has cooked for you?
I mean, I would say my ramen noodles are still pretty amazing, Lori. It stepped them up to the next level, you know? It's just they were just like regular ramen noodles and
Mhm.
now they're like couture ramen
Oh,
noodles.
I'm just getting so excited. And let me mention that there's going to be three price of $29.99, three simple payments. That's an exciting price for something that's going to be an exciting, 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 exciting.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And I'm also, in a way better shape. And speaking of which, we have our testimonial.
Hi, I'm Francis. I love it. Oh my God. I want to tell you that is such a great price, by the way. My husband was going to divorce me. I mean, really, I can't cook. And one thing I can say, it made our relationship so much better because we were basically done. So if you want to save a relationship, I mean, I know that's kind of strange, right? But if you want to save a relationship, buy it for the price. It's awesome. It'll save your relationship and it'll make great healthy food. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Andre, are you going to surprise them like I'm about to do? Because actually the price has just changed. With that amazing testimonial where people can keep their marriages and not get divorced, we're going to make the price now only two payments of $29.99. What do you think about that, Andre?
That's incredible. Okay, I already ordered it actually. I think that my fiance will be very happy about that. It's gonna be a surprise. So, Lori, please don't tell anything.
Please,
And
I
yeah,
won't.
yeah, and especially she's already so excited about my better shape. How many pounds did you lose? Like I'm talking to the testimonial because it's been like a miracle. Can you please remind us?
Not really any. I mean, if anything, it put on weight, but it made me more like svelte for my husband. And like I said, it saves marriages.
Yeah,
I
isn't it
love it.
amazing?
Well,
Yeah. So
folks,
only two payments.
Andre, I guess we should have everyone get to their phones, all right, for a payment of 2 payments of $29.99. Go to your phones.
And call now.
Well, thank you guys. That's a lovely infomercial. I think unfortunately, I bought it at the higher price. I should have waited to the end of the infomercial and got it cheaper. So I know that will make Liz, our inventor, happy that she got a full price from me. All right. Well, let's bring on our bachelorette clue. We'll send all you guys off to the side. We're going to bring in Judy, who's our bachelorette today, along with Bobby, George, and Gary, who are our bachelors. And you probably have seen The Bachelor or The Bachelor on television. We'll be playing that today. But I'm going to give these guys some improv so they have to work with it. So, Bobby, you took her to a graveyard. You took Judy to a graveyard, okay? And George, you took her to a used car lot. A used car lot, George. And Gary, you took her to your AA meeting, okay? Your AA meeting. So these sound like some really good dates, okay? So I'm going to send you all off right now. I'll be bringing Bobby in a second. So go ahead and go off to the dark there, guys. Go to black. And I want to interview Judy. Go ahead. Judy, you stay out here with me. You're the bachelorette. So Judy, I guess this is pretty exciting. You've had 20 bachelors you've been dating, and now you've narrowed it down to just these 3. And tonight you're going to pick perhaps your soulmate. How do you feel about tonight, Judy?
Oh, Kent, it's a dream come true. You know, in my culture, it's the opposite. You know, men pick women, and I was growing up in a family that they're saying that be pretty and smile. And here I am in America, and I get to pick and choose because I have a career.
Yes.
So, and I'm good looking.
Well, you still are pretty, and you still got a nice smile. So that didn't change, Judy. So now, what are you looking for, Judy, in a man? I mean, I know it may have changed since 30 days ago when you started dating all these men, but what are you looking for?
Kent, it has been an education. Like I said, I had no experience with men before, and it was just there. I want to show my parents that I can do this, and show the public who Asian girls are made out of. So. Yeah, so I showed them my karate moves. They scared off maybe half of them. The rest of them, I guess they're just like into quirky Asian ladies. But I don't.
Well, let me ask you
them.
this, Judy. You're not going to marry someone because your parents will accept them. You're actually going to marry someone because you love that person. Is that correct?
Yeah, because I had to escape that mindset. Patriarchal, when the parents, they just decide everything for me. And since I learned English and they don't know English at all, I just started teaching myself how to be a real person myself.
Okay. So when you learn English, you're a real person. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because I started watching YouTube and they have no idea what I'm watching. My education started on YouTube.
I didn't know that English people become more real when they learn the language. I'm still learning it. Let's bring in the first bachelor. Let's bring in Bobby. And Bobby took you to a graveyard. Bobby, how do you think that went?
I mean, it went fantastic. I didn't want to be the same. She just came off as someone who I had to impress. So I wasn't going to take her to dinner. I was going to take her to a graveyard. We went to the graveyard, and it was really dark because I wanted her to be a little scared, to be honest. So we went to the graveyard. We got some shovels. We brought some shovels with us, and she looked pretty happy. A little apprehensive, but she looked happy that it was a different date. And I'm like, all right. So this is our date activity, a little icebreaker, if you will. We are going to dig up a grave and see what it looks like. So we looked for a really old grave, not too old because I did want a body there. So I found one from 1950. I'm like pretty sure there's going to be a body there. So we started digging, and it was good. It was a lot of exercise. We dug up the grave, we opened it, and it was mostly skeleton. And I was like, look, I did this for you. Isn't this the coolest thing ever? I bet you've never seen like a decomposed body that's turned into a skeleton. And I don't know, I just thought we hit it off. It was great.
So that was your way of showing her your bone?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, you're a strange little man. Well, let's find out, Judy, how do you think that date went to the graveyard?
Okay, I have to tell you, one thing I didn't tell Bobby is in my culture, the tube was just playground. We have all these scary, every day, every night stories about hauntings. So for me, graveyard is just another piece of decaying culture thing. And we used to dig up our ancestors' graves to loot there for their gold and whatnot. And rotten silk, those silk, ugh. That's why I don't wear silks anymore, Kent. And when Bobby picked, well, actually it was me who picked a grave. He said, I think it's 1894, the year I was born.
What?
There's another secret.
1894? You mean 1994?
Oh, yes.
You
yes,
can't have been born in 1994.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that only puts you at 26. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, but Bobby, you dug up a guy from 1950s. Of course, it's only going to be bones, Bobby. Why don't you get someone who's like, buried maybe a couple days ago?
Well, I thought about that, but I didn't want to scare her, being that it was the first date. I figured bones would be a little less scary than a body with worms in it and stuff, and it might smell bad too. So I don't know. Out of respect.
All right, well, stay here. Go ahead and mute yourself there, Bobby. I'm going to bring in your second date, George. George brought you to a used car lot. And let's see, George, how do you think that date went, and why did you decide to bring her to a used car lot?
Well, the reason why I chose the location was simple. What place where you can get the best of anything in life? Where you can just think about the things that you want to become and the things that you are. You go to a used car lot. You see old cars, you see new cars. You get the feeling that you are, in a way, not alone in the universe, if you get what I'm saying. I think that in some ways, a car is like a person, and an engine is almost like a soul. And then once you remove that engine, you lose the soul. And in some ways, I think you're, maybe it would be interesting if I could. Yes, you were saying?
Well, I was going to say, Judy, when he went on the date with you, did he do that too, where he talked but his mouth didn't move?
Oh, I wouldn't
That's rather
know.
strange.
I wouldn't know. I
You wouldn't
actually
know.
I wasn't listening to him because I was so thrilled that I was finally in a car place. Do you know?
Okay.
Well, because my parents don't know English, I've been doing drifting with a lot of boys behind their backs. Well, again, I learned everything on YouTube. So George is showing me a used car dealership. For me, it was just like a candy store. I didn't know what he was saying.
Did you guys get in the car or anything and maybe like kiss in the back seat or anything?
Well,
actually, no. Well, I mean, some things are best left unsaid.
I agree.
Okay. I think you can see, George,
Yeah.
she's eating a banana. It's very erotic, I guess. But let's bring on her third date, Gary. Gary brought her to his AA meeting. Let's see how that went. Gary, why did you choose to bring her to your AA meeting, and how do you think the date went?
Well, I think it went quite well. I mean, I brought her to my AA meeting because I thought she was a lovely young lady. And I wanted to show her that even though I am known as the Elon Musk of electric airplanes and worth about 15 or 20 billion dollars, I am still down to earth and have problems like anybody else. So I went to my local AA meeting in Astoria, New York, and just told about that just because I'm super wealthy, have houses on 4 continents, and actually I have a place in the Antarctic, but we don't really go there very often, that I have problems like everybody else, and that I would just be lovely to have Judy around. And also to show that I'm magnanimous, I took everyone at the meeting. At the end, we had dinner together. I took them all out to dinner. Now, of course, with COVID, there's no indoor dining in New York. So I rented Yankee Stadium for a dinner. I had it catered. I asked Judy what she wanted. And she said a lobster filet mignon. So we had everything she could consider wonderful. I'm just trying to show her that I'm just a normal average guy who has problems like everyone else. I would make a wonderful person for her to spend time with. She's a lovely lady.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's find out how Judy thought the date went.
At first I wouldn't think Gary is my type because he's so experienced. But then I realized because I didn't grow up with my grandparents, I wanted an older person to show me the ropes, especially one that's well-connected and resourceful like Gary. He didn't know how to show a girl a good time because, again, he had the experience. So, and between us, I don't think he will live long, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, sorry,
Well,
Gary.
he doesn't.
Okay.
He
I'll live as long as I am.
Gary, so do you find that insulting? She thinks you're going to die soon?
If she's right, she does well. If she's wrong, I do well. Can't lose with that one.
Okay, so in other words, if you get married to her, she's going to inherit a lot of money.
That's
and
right.
Get lobster filet
Filet
mignon is
Yeah.
just filet
Aged.
mignon. Okay,
Yeah.
with lobster along. Okay, well, listen, Judy, you've got all 3 of your guys. You're going to have to eliminate one of them. Which one of them do you think you want to eliminate first, and why, Judy?
Well, this is hard because I like options, but since it's your rule, I'm sorry, George. I just don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
Yeah,
I think I know more about
you
cars than
froze so
you.
much. Yeah, you froze so much, George. I think she kind of you're kind of a
Yeah,
cold person. So, you know.
I have
Do
no
you have any last
imagination.
comments, George? George? No, here he goes.
Well, in some ways, we'll just say that we had fun in the back seat. We'll always have that. So no hard feelings.
Okay, George. Okay, George, go ahead and you go off to the right. You may want to leave and come back again, George, just to see if you can get your video working better. Okay, now you got Gary or Bobby. You can only choose one of them. Who do you want to eliminate? And then obviously the other one will be our winner today.
Both are so close to the grave. One that showed me the bones when he's still alive. The other one showed me what he's made of in wealth and in taste. It's so hard. I'm sorry, Bobby, but I don't like your glasses today. But we'll still go out and dig in the grave sometimes.
Bobby, any closing comments?
Yeah, it's typical, the guy with money, gonna get a payday, so it's fine. I'm fine. If you don't like these glasses, too bad. Someone else will. That's all I have to say.
That's true, Bobby. You'll find your true love, just not today. All right, Gary, you've won. Gary, how do you feel? Do you have any comments?
Well, I'm used to winning, and I'm happy about winning. And I think we're going to have a wonderful life together, be it 1 year or 20 years. I can't lose, and neither can she. Marriage made in heaven. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for playing The Bachelorette, and congratulations to you both finding true love. That's been our Bachelorette. Thanks a lot, guys. All right, our next game is called Reality House. It's kind of like a takeoff of Big Brother. So I'm going to bring everybody back in right now. I'm going to give them all archetypes, types of personality traits, and they'll be working with these particular personality traits. And then we're going to have like everybody's been living in the same house. I'll give you more background in a minute. But first, let's go with Judy. Judy, you'll be our nympho. Okay, you're a nympho. Francine is right there, our guest. So Judy, you can go to black and go off and put nympho up. Francine, you're nosy. Okay, so Francine, you can go off and come on back in, nosy. Okay, Lori, you're the gossip. Lori, there she is, our house gossip. Liz, you are needy, clingy, and accident prone. Needy, clingy, and accident prone, Liz. Okay, Gary, you're a dictator type. Okay, a dictator. And we have Andre. Andre, you have anger issues. Anger issues. And Bobby, you have a death wish. You think everyone's trying to kill you. Okay, you think everybody's trying to kill you. And George, you're a germophobic. And Lori, you need to go off and come back. Lori, you're the gossip, okay? We can still see you. So go ahead and go on off and then come back and put gossip instead of host up there. Okay, you can still go. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to be bringing everybody back in. This is our version of Big Brother or Real World. They've all been living in the same house for a month together. You guys can all come on back at any time. And they've all been living in the same house for a month together. And, you know, sometimes people get on each other's nerves. Some people get new bonds. Some people hook up. We're going to find out what happened in this particular house in our takeoff of Big Brother or Real World in our show called Reality House. So let's first go to Lori. Lori, you're the gossip in the house. Can you tell us some of the gossip that might be going on around the house right now?
Well,
Lori?
are they listening? Can I talk about?
No,
'Cause I have a lot.
yes, everybody.
All
We have
right,
a
well,
feed that everyone can hear everything everybody says. So that's okay. Just tell us the
well,
truth.
all right. Well, all right. I guess I will. Well, I heard that Judy is having an affair with Gary, and meanwhile, Andre was interested in Judy, but Judy pretended she liked Andre, but then she really was wanting to have the affair with Gary. So I am just really confused. Liz just sits around. She doesn't really talk. She doesn't say much, but she knows what's going on, and she knows a lot more than she's saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go to Liz right now. Liz, obviously, you're kind of needy, you're clingy, you're accident prone. I believe one of the first weeks you were in the house, you fell over the couch and broke it.
I did fall over the couch, but that was only because it was right in the middle of the living room. Like, who would put a couch in the living room? Honestly, can't like who does that? And I fell and I scraped my knee, and it really, really hurts. Like, it still hurts. And I fell right into the arms of Andre, who is like so gorgeous. Like, can you like look at him? He is beautiful. He looks like an Italian god. Like, you just want to like ooze all over him, and like whenever I see him I just want to like be all like I'm just like around like, oh, you can tell that he loves me though just by the way that he looks at me. Like, I just sit next to him and like we talk for hours and hours and like about anything, just like about our day and how much we love each other, and like how much we just want to spend time with each other. And like after we get out of the house we talk about how like we're gonna spend like all the time with each other. And like sometimes he says funny things to me like, Liz, like you're spending way too much time, like get away from me, I'm gonna get like a restraining order, funny things like that. But like I know he doesn't mean it, he just has a funny sense of humor.
Yeah. Well, if you look at Andre's shirt now, if we can cut to Andre, you can notice that one of the buttons is missing. And you ripped that button off, Liz, when you were trying to get clingy and grabbing him, and now he's missing a button on his nice new silk $200 shirt.
I didn't. Okay, I would never steal the button. I really think that was Judy, since she's the nympho.
Well, let's go to Andre. Andre, obviously, Liz has had some run-ins with you. She wants to grab you and cling you and wants you to be her boyfriend. She's obviously ripped that button off your expensive shirt. Do you have anything you want to say to her?
There you go. Liz, please, please stop. I mean, it's you're a nice girl, but you're a great couple with George. Why don't you couple more with George, but just please far from me, okay? So because you both with that thing with, I don't know, crumbs and or the button. I mean, what's wrong with crumbs? I mean, I can see any roaches. Sorry. Just it's a tough moment, and I can find this button as a and Judy, playing with my feelings, with my heart. Like it's a really tough moment.
So,
And then people
so
shouldn't
Judy,
play with your feelings.
Judy, Andre is a little upset with you because, and of course, Liz is saying that you ripped the button off Andre when you were trying to have sex with him. So, what's the truth behind that story, and how do you feel about Andre and Liz?
Oh, Liz, it's like my little sister. I think that's how Andre got mistaken her for me one night, and Liz just, took it as some kind of affection. But Andre, when you're angry, you're so attractive. I cannot stop thinking about you. Your bottom, I don't know. I have your underwear. I don't know where your bottom is. Maybe it's under the bed. Oh, well. Maybe we can find it together.
Now, I understand you also had sex with Gary. Are you hooking up with Gary? Yeah, I can see that, Andre. We'll come back to you in 1 second. Are you having sex with Gary too?
Oh, yes. Judy? Of course. Who's not hot for dictator? They have the power. They have the charisma. I mean, I still have one of his socks.
Okay, so you have his socks and Andre's underwear. Before we go to Gary, let's go back to Andre for a second. Did you hear that she's wearing your underwear? She has your underwear, Andre?
Yeah, I knew. I don't know about the button because this story, I think it's a made up story, but just I did it. My shirt is very expensive, and I'm not angry. Okay, I'm not angry. I'm not.
Okay.
I learned to control it. I'm working on it. I'm great, and just yes, Liz. Yes. I love it. We can talk later. I have 10 minutes, but please, you promised me 10 minutes, no one more. Okay? And I'll give you a hug.
All right. Well,
I'll give you a hug.
Let's go over to Gary. Gary, so you're having sex with Judy.
Yes.
Do you give her any commands since you're
the
dictator of the house?
Everyone here. That's the job.
Okay. Can you tell us some of the commands you give Judy before you have sex with her?
Well, first, I tell her that I will sit in one position and not move, and she must do all the work. That's the first thing I say, okay? Because I am in charge. And second, I describe to her exactly what I want done and for how long I want it done, okay? Now, if I need an orgasm, if I have an appointment, I might need an orgasm in 30 seconds or less. And I tell her that's what she must do, okay? Now, I just like to interject something. I have discussed with Andre his anger issues, and I am upset that he is trying to modify his anger because his anger is useful to me. Because with his anger, I can get him to do almost anything I want, and I'm terribly opposed, and he will pay if he tries to deal with these anger issues. I'm looking to increase his anger as I'm looking to increase Judy's nymphomania. But mainly for myself.
Okay, but let me ask you this, Gary, because Bobby has told me that he thinks you and Andre are trying to kill him.
Yes, that's true.
What's going on with that? It is true.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby, we consider a useless appendage to this group. And what do you do with useless appendages? You cut them off. A sixth finger, you remove it. A appendix or tonsils, you cut them out. And that's what effectively Bobby is, a bad set of tonsils. So yes, I want Andre to remove him in any way possible. Yes, I do.
Okay, Bobby, you just heard that. So maybe your premonitions about Gary and Andre wanted to kill you are true. Gary's just admitted they want to get rid of you as a bad tonsil. How do you feel about that?
I knew it. I knew this was happening, and I'm glad you admitted it. And this is disgusting. Like, I do all the work in this house, clean up after everyone, all of you. I'm looking at all of you. None of you do anything, and I'm sick of it. And you guys are just sleeping with everyone in this house. You know, I don't know. I'm not. That's not happening for me. And you know what? I knew this was happening. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And I'm pretty sure everyone wants to kill me in this house. No one likes me. I'm so fed up. I'm gonna kill you
All right,
guys.
well, let's go to Francine. Let's go to Francine. She's nosy. And
Okay,
let's see if she would like to kill you.
Sorry.
Would you like to kill him? Would you like to kill
No.
him?
I don't want to kill him, but
Okay.
I just want everybody to know I took notes on everything you did, every last one of you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Can you share some of those?
Yes.
Yeah,
First
share
of all,
your
Lori,
notes.
for you to be such a gossip, I saw you go in the bathroom with the cameraman. You didn't know I saw you, but I did. I took notes. And you came out and your hair was messy. Andre, you're cute, but you're mental. I saw you talking to yourself. I was looking at you around the corner. You were talking to yourself. You're gone, okay? Liz, you're just nuts and obsessed with a man. Gary, I knew about those short orgasms. How I knew, remember, I like to dress in character, and I was a plant, and you didn't know I was a plant, and I saw your short orgasm. One thing I noticed is that no one is having sex with me, and I need it. That's it.
Judy, would you have sex with her?
Oh, for someone who is so resourceful, definitely. I mean, we can have so much to talk about, including who wears what underwear, who wears whose underwear, who wears whose socks. You know, those kind of things are useful. I would totally be for things.
I don't do that kind of stuff, but you do look like you have given out massages before. Have you been to a massage parlor? You could give me that, but not sex. Sorry.
We can talk. We can just talk. We can see where it goes.
Judy, I know you tried to have sex with George, and George decided to spray you down with bacterial spray everywhere, including your privates. How did that make you feel to want to have sex with George, who's such a germophobic?
That actually was an honest misunderstanding. I was going to the bathroom, and George was there taking his almost 23-hour long shower. So I had to undress in front of him because I need to take a shower myself. But I started taking on my clothes and started massaging myself. And then he just went mental. So if there's anyone in this house that's dangerous, it's George. He just won't leave the bathroom.
Okay. So George, is it true what she just said? And is it true that you tried to spray her down with antibacterial spray before you wanted to have sex with her?
Well, yeah. I mean, come on. You don't know how many germs that are festering on human clothes. I mean, come on. I mean, all the satin she wears, that's going to get a lot of germs are going to go into that. And not to mention the shoes that she wears. That's just a bunch of dust particles that are coming off the ground. I mean, that's all toxic. I don't want it. I mean, and look, I know I spent a lot of time in the shower because I just want to live. All right. I just want to live. I just want to see this through to the end and just get the hell out of here. Move on with my life. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this, Bobby. Did I saw in one of your notes that the producers gave me that Judy tried to screw you to death. Is that true?
Yes, that did happen. And it was not pleasant, to be honest. I thought it would be something enjoyable, obviously, but I nearly died. I mean, she was jumping on me literally, and I'm pretty sure I broke some ribs, and I'm pretty sure one of my ribs was this close to stabbing my heart, and she wanted to kill me. And this was her way of doing it. I know it. I know it. I'm not paranoid.
You're okay. All right. Well, Andre, so you heard Gary there. Gary likes to keep you angry because he thinks he can control you. Did you know that about Gary?
Gary's a great guy. Gary is a very good friend. He's the only one in this crazy house really supporting. Yeah, he wants me to thrive, to accept my own personality. And like I also do, you know, some exercise. He taught me how to argue with myself. I do a lot. I don't know why, you know, Fancy is always, you know, there taking notes and just arguing with myself. What's wrong with that? And now, you know, we have this job with to do with Bobby Six Finger. Yeah, that's how Gary calls him. Yeah, Bobby Six Fingers. It's like it's kind of funny, isn't it? And I don't know, but Bobby actually is it's a terrible guy. He's the worst. He wants everyone to die. He wants to die himself. What's wrong with life? What's wrong with life?
Okay. Let me go back up to
Yeah,
Lori.
Gary's a great guy.
Lori, so Francine, our nosy one, says that she saw you coming out of the bathroom with the cameraman, and I'm beginning to wonder, did you sleep your way onto this show?
Well, oh gosh, I mean, I guess I have to be honest, it's a reality show, so they want real, right? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
yes, I did. I wouldn't call it that I slept my way through. I kind of slept with, you know, just it was a mutual agreement. And, you know, basically they said, do you want to be on the show? And we have one more spot. And I thought, well, you know what? I do it for free. So why not do it to be on this amazing show? I get to meet all these amazing people. But I want to say one more thing that I forgot to say before is that George is supposed to be this germophobic, but you have to go into his room. It is disgusting. It's like a hoarder. He's got everything all in his room and he comes off to be this germophobic, but honestly, there's a big despair if you go into his room. So
Is that true, George? George, is your room a mess and you act like you're all a clean freak, but you're actually just a mess inside your room's messy?
Well, fine. You know what? You're right. You got me. Yes, I am a very messy, and you know, I'm just trying my hardest to, you know what, be better, but I've got a problem, and you know, I'm both a pathological liar and I'm a mess maker. So yeah. Yeah, Lori just walked in while wanting to borrow some sanitizer, but she walked in while I was having my last banana and I threw it onto the ground next to some old pizza boxes. So yeah. Thanks, Lori. Thank you for screwing me over.
Okay. And Liz, so there's a rumor going around the house that you had sex with Gary and that he asked you to play barnyard animals. Is that true?
That is absolutely not true. I would never do such a thing. You know what? That obviously was started by our gossip girl over here, Lori. They call me the needy one, but let's talk about this. I'm not needy. There's a bunch of people in this house who are needy. Let's talk about this. Lori has a need to be the center of attention, which is why she's the gossip. Judy has a need for sex all the time. That's why she's the nympho. George has a need for everything to be clean, which is why he's the germaphobe. And Gary over here has a need for control, which is why he's the dictator. Everybody around here is needy. I'm not the needy one. So let's just put an end to that rumor right there.
So Gary, is that rumor true that you were ordering her to do barnyard animals while you were trying to have the nasty with her?
Yes, that is true, but I want to say that they weren't normal barnyard animals, they were organic. Okay?
Can you
That's the
elaborate
big
on that?
difference.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we only deal with organic feed. So we're talking about organic sheep, which are really, really nice. And I don't see any problem with that. It's been something that's gone on for hundreds of years, and I am trying to promote things that are traditional in our society.
Well, she told me you also tried to shear her. Is that true? You tried to shear her back?
Do sheep get sheared? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, they do.
So of course, that's what
Okay.
you do. So once again, perfectly normal. Exactly what should be done in any proper society. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time to figure out who you guys want to kick off out of this house and give me the reasons why you've chosen that person. Let's start with Lori, or gossip. Who do you want to kick off and out of the house?
Honestly, I'm going to say Judy, because she seems to want to have all the sex and she's tiring out all the guys, including the cameraman. So I would say she needs to go.
Okay. Well, let's find out who Gary thinks should go.
Well, I was going to say Bobby, but I'm not really concerned about him for very long. So I go with George, because you can't really trust a fake germaphobe who doesn't move his mouth when he speaks. Okay?
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, Judy, or Nympho?
I would listen to our dictator, of course, George, the germaphobe, because he's the only person I haven't slept and who won't let me near his room. Now I know why.
Okay. So we've got a couple for George right now. What about Liz? Who's she want to knock out of here?
I'm gonna say Bobby, not because I
Okay.
don't like Bobby. I actually really like him. I think he's just too good of a person for this house. I want to see him out in a world with, good people. And he has a death wish, so he kind of like wants to like get kicked out anyway.
Okay, so we got a George, we got a Bobby, and we got a Judy. And let's find out who Andre wants to kick out of the house.
No, of course I need to have Liz out of. Oh no! Sorry, Gary. Sorry, George. George out of the house. Sorry.
George. Okay, well, that's a couple for 3, I believe, for George right now. It looks like he's not looking too good. But let's see who Bobby wants to kick out of the house.
Gary, our dictator, 100%. As he admitted, he's trying to kill me. So I don't want anyone in this house that's trying to kill me. So you're gone in my book.
Okay, George, who would you like to get rid of?
Well, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't agree with Bobby on a lot of things. I mean, I dislike him as much as everyone, but Gary needs to get the hell out of here. All right. He's just sick. He's sicker than I am. I mean, come on. Who wants to be around someone like that? Gary, get out.
Okay, so Gary's got 2 and George has got 3. So it's up to really Francine, our nosy one. Who do you want to throw out of the house?
Well, first, I wanted to get rid of Lori. I mean, she's pretty and everything, and personally, I saw her go. The cameraman was looking at me first. So, but that's okay. I'm not going to hold that against you. But really, I would probably say Andre, because he's handsome, but he talks to himself, and that scares me. That's it.
Well, George got the most. So, George, you won't be coming back next week. All you guys will be back on the show again next week to find out, will the dictator kill Bobby? We'll find out who will Judy have sex with and what gossip's going to be around. And if Andre's anger issues don't go away, what happens to him? Come back next week on Reality House. Thanks for watching, everybody. Okay, our final game we're going to play, and you guys can all just stay here. You can get rid of your other names. Just leave your real name up there. We're going to play a game called Challenge right now. Challenge, and everybody's going to get to challenge the philosophies or the ideas of everybody else. So, let's say I think dogs are better than cats, then, someone might raise their hand and say, no, I think cats are better because cats, you don't have to be home all the time. They can have their own litter box. You don't have to open the door to let them out to go to the bathroom. So it's up to you guys to challenge each other. I'm going to give you the opening thing, and then you're going to decide on what's better. I'm saying right now, cars are better than horses because you can get a lot more places with a car than you can with a horse. If you want to challenge me, just go ahead and raise your hand. I'll accept your challenge. But yeah, cars. Oh, Gary wants to challenge me. Go ahead, Gary.
You can get places with cars, but if you're hungry, you'll starve. With a horse, you'll always eat.
Any challenges? You just keep going there until someone challenges you. Okay, go ahead, Andre.
Cars are way better than horses because you can go anywhere and buy all the food you want.
Yeah, cars are destroying the world. Horses are saving it, okay?
Okay, any other? Okay, Judy's got a challenge.
Horses farts and they don't go very far and they die. Car don't die. You can always buy new ones.
Cars fart carbon dioxide, okay? Called climate change and warming.
Okay, remember to raise your hand so we know for editing purposes. Okay, who's going to challenge that? Okay, Bobby.
Well, it was a challenge for Judy, but horses are better because they can be your friend if you are friendless, and you can talk to them, and a car you cannot talk to.
Oh, Andre's got a challenge of that. Go ahead, Andre.
Horses kick you. Cars don't.
Okay, Gary's got a challenge of that. Go ahead, Gary.
Cars run you over and kill you. Horses don't.
Okay, George, you got a challenge, George?
Yeah, I mean horses are lovable. They're service animals. They provide a service to society. Come on.
Okay, Francine's got a challenge. Go ahead, Francine.
Yes, but a horse is a dangerous care animal, whereas a car is safer, much safer.
Okay, Lori, go ahead.
I tend to disagree. I feel that you can control a horse, but you can't control your car. If it goes out of commission, it goes out or someone hits you, you're done. But at least with the horse, you can pull on the reins and you can stop that son of a gun.
Well, I don't think any. Oh, Judy's going to challenge. Go ahead, Judy.
But horse need a barn. Who can afford a barn? For a car, you can just park in the garage or driveway. It's just more practical.
Leave it. Oh, Gary, go for it.
A driveway, a barn, what's the difference? One's covered and one's not, okay? In fact, my horse I tie up right outside my apartment building on Fifth Avenue and 42nd Street, okay?
Horses are coming back to New York. That's been our challenge, and this is our show. Thank you guys for watching. This is our first show, and we're very excited about it. They'll be back in another month with all different games. Every month, each team does different games, and there's a bunch of teams. I've got 9 of them. LAC Comedy on YouTube is the website, or not the website, but where you go on YouTube, LAC Comedy, and our website's laconnectioncomedy.com. Again, I'm Ken Scove, and let's introduce our cast today. Lori. And Gary.
Hello.
And Judy.
Slow down.
And Liz. Andre.
Ciao.
Bobby.
Slow down.
George.
Slow down.
And Francine.
See ya.
Okay, everybody, wave goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching the LA Connections virtual